Welcome back to our channel, folks. 2021 is finally here. The first video for me of this new year is going to be changing the oil in my BMW i3's Rex generator. If you liked it, hit that button. If you didn't, you know what to do. And let me know in the comments, do you follow BMW's recommended service and change the oil once a year? Or do you stretch it out to a longer interval? Or do you shorten it to a shortened interval? Shortened interval? Shorter interval. I can't talk, it's cold outside. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you all in the next one. And what I'm using to do my oil change is 0W30 full synthetic motor oil. Mine is a 2016 i3, and that's what the engine cover had said, 0W30. As far as the quantity, BMW doesn't list the quantity. It just says take it to the dealership. You know, unlike American cars where they list the oil capacity in the owner's manual. I digress. You're going to need a hex 8 bolt to unscrew the drain bolt. You will need a new crush washer when you go to reinstall that bolt. You're going to need a T20 socket to unscrew the bolts that hold the engine cover on top here. And you're going to need your new oil filter. Now, I've never changed this oil, and I don't know, I'm not familiar with a lot of the filters. I tend to stick to OEM, as you've seen with the Flex. I only use Motorcraft. So I have a genuine BMW oil filter, and this damn thing was $20-something. You'll need a funnel, and you might need a wrench, an oil filter wrench to unscrew your oil filter. It is very tight underneath there. So with that all out of the way, let's go underneath and get to getting. All right, so now that we're under here, you may or may not be able to see very much because A, this is cramped. Let me tell you, gotta put my rubber on, and then we're going to try not to make a mess. I can't find the hole where my fingers go. Oh, there we go. We have success. So here's this drain bolt right here. And I don't know what this is. I don't know if BMW did that at the dealership or not, but it's intriguing. Oh. All right. So, righty-tighty. Oh, well, that was easy. Well, we just started. So, I'm not sure how easy this is really going to be. Oh, that holds the crush washer. Oh, that's why you wear a rubber. Doesn't look too bad. I don't know when they last changed it, but the service for i3 is once a year. Now we're going to try and take this crush washer off. Well, that was easy. But I don't know what the hell this is. Oh. Well, let's go. Come on. Get up. Get there. So now, that's the old crush bar. I'm going to try and get this filter off of here. I've never done this, so let's see how this works. Oh, I dented it. Okay. So when we left off, I was struggling getting this filter off. Turns out these strap wrenches do not work that well. So quick trip to the auto store to get a better pipe wrench, or not pipe wrench, but oil filter wrench. And you may or may not be able to see the scratch marks and the indentations of me using this filter wrench to remove this damn filter. So I already have it somewhat started. I don't know if I can get it out by hand. Nope. Still gotta use this. So we just squeeze. And, oh, there we go. Finally. I sure hope to God a BMW didn't do this. Because, Jesus criminy, that was a pain. Holy hell. So we're going to let the oil drip out of that. So now that this is loose, we're going to pull that out. And as you might be able to see, right here's the paint chipping from the wrench, indentation. Yeah, that was a pain in the ass. Even the Flexus filter is not that complicated. All right, so with that, we're gonna clean this up and then we're gonna put a new filter in. And I temporarily reinstalled this drain plug. So that I could stop the oil from dripping. But I reused a crush washer. And I don't know if you can or not. They're only $1.50 at the dealer. So if you want to save the $1.50, that's your call. But it's a cost I would just spend and replace the crush washer. However, looking at the old one is in my left hand, and the new one's in my right hand. I don't see a difference between them. The left one doesn't look smashed. Ooh, let's see. The left one, this one, doesn't look smashed, and this is the new one. So I'm gonna replace it, but that'll be your call on whether you reuse it or not. Oh, well, hell. Practically screw this all the way in. Okay. Now, I don't know the torque spec. I couldn't find one. But if you've changed enough oil, this only has to be hand tight, not gorilla strength tight. So I'm right here at the top of my ratchet, and I can't screw this bolt in anymore. And if I go all the way down here at the end, I could get a little bit leverage, but that's pretty much it. So that's as tight as I'm going to do it. But well, that looks a little weird. You make that call on your i3. Or you're just so fancy, pay the dealer to do it. I'm kidding. I'm too cheap. And yet I bought a BMW. Okay, so now I'm going to get our new filter. Now, on my oil filter, I like to write the date and the time, or the mileage that I changed it. So this is going to be November of 20. So we're going to fill our filter with some oil. because this is going to go in at an angle. So I have my filter filled. You can take some oil and put it around this gasket. Now, here I might recommend that more frequently, because if you change this once a year, well, your oil filter might come out just as complicated as this one, depending on how much you use the Rex engine. There has been some talk in the EV community for the i3 that some people do an oil change every 2 years. Let's make sure this is on there and not cross-threaded. Was that cross-threaded? No. It just is going to be a pain in my ass. This doesn't screw on as easy as the Flex does. There we go. Make sure you don't cross thread this. And then again, you use your own judgment on how tight you want to put this on here. I do hand tight as much as I can, and I try to do 1 extra quarter turn, which is pretty much where it's going to be. Because I bet you when I go to remove this, it's going to be a pain in my ass again. Oh, that'll work. Okay. So we have our crush washer. Now we go up top to fill it. Now that we're up top, just put your thumb where my hand's at, or your thumb right here. Lift, this insert comes up. And then we have 8 T20 bolts right here along the perimeter that we have to remove. Well, this is a royal pain in the ass. With all 8 of them removed, this should pop out. Ooh, and it does. And there is our beloved generator and our electric motor. You have coolant here to fill the oil. It's back here, this little fill port right here. And this right here is the drain, or the, not drain, but dipstick. I promise I know my car terminology. I wonder if there's an air filter. Intriguing. All right. So we unscrew this. Now if this is dirty, be careful that you don't get dirt in your fill port. So I'm going to use some paper towel and lay that on there. Hopefully it fits. Hey, this is supposed to be 2.6 liters. So I'm going to start with the one that I opened and put the whole thing in. Pour sideways, makes it easier to dispense the oil out of the container. You don't have chugging or that jugging effect. I have not paid BMW to do any service on this vehicle, so going to the dealer for this, I could not tell you the cost. There's one down. Bottle number 2. Oh, man, Who the heck at the factory put that cap on? They gorilla tightened it. Oh, that's not pulse very fast. Now, and so I think we're gonna be looking like, let's go down to the 600 and see where we end up. Aha. Well, the manual says it has to be within the 2 marks of the dipstick. So I'm going to assume here and here. So it has to be in this middle. If I'm wrong, correct me in the comments. So the math that I did was 2.6 liters is 2,600 milliliters. I put 2 quarts in at 946 per quart. That gave me 1892 milliliters. That subtracted from 2,600 leaves me 700. So here's 800, 900. This is 700. This would be 500. This is 300. And this is where I stopped. I had to put 700 in here. If I'm under 100 milliliters, well, I don't think it'll matter. Maybe I can get a little bit more in there for 100 milliliters. That's about as good as it's gonna get. And that's all there is for an oil change. Pretty simple. I don't like the dipstick though. So then we just check. And it says, oh, maybe you can't tell. So right here, the end of my thumb is where the oil line is. And that oil line has to be between these 2 points. And we are right here. Oh, I did it right. Yeah. Now, after you have changed your oil, we have to reset the service light. So we're going to keep our foot off the brake, hit this start stop, hold this button in on the side. It says reset possible. Hold it again to confirm. And then it says reset successful. And that concludes this video of changing the oil in the Rex generator for an i3. Now, one thing that I had overlooked was if the oil was European spec. Because it is a BMW, a European vehicle, I didn't think about it when I bought the oil. So I looked in the manual, and of course, that was absolutely no help. Are you surprised? I looked around online and I found some place who were just mentioning make sure the API is SM or higher and the correct weight. That was it. At least that's all that I found. So in the comments below, let me know, what oil do you use in your Rex generator? There's also been some discussion about changing the oil filter to a longer one, since you have a 1-year service interval, and depending on how long or how often you use your Rex generator, that little filter may not be capable of keeping the oil clean. I don't have any experience. This is my first electric vehicle with a generator, so I am open to any kind of discussion. With that, my hands are cold, it's cold out here, I'm going back inside. I will see all of you in the next video.